Miyang henerasyon ayaw magpababa ng pamatayanan ng henerasyon ayaw magpababa ng pamantayan.
Naniniwala kami sa isang malinaw na prinsipyo. Ang public office ay public trust. Ang kapangyarihan ay hiniram sa bayan. Hindi ito pag-aari, minana o pinalulusutan. Tinatanggihan namin ang korupsyon, katahimikan at ganito na talaga. Pinipili namin ang katotohanan kaysa palusot at pananagutan kaysa kasikatan. Magtatanong kami, makikialam kami, mananagot ang may sala kahit sino pa sila. Walang untouchable, walang dahilan, walang lusot.
Sa panahong muling sinusubok ang katatagan ng demokrasya sa Pilipinas, isang usapin ang yumanig sa larangan ng politika at nagdulot ng matinding paghahati ng opinyon sa sambayanan. To impeach or not to impeach? Ano nga ba ang tunay na implikasyon ng nalalapit na impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte? Ito ba isang mahalagang hakbang tungo sa pananagutan at transparency o isang hakbang na maaaring magpalalim sa tensyong politikal at magdulot ng mas matinding hidwaan sa bansa? Paano maapektuhan ng pamahalaan, ekonomiya at tiwala ng publiko? Ano ang magiging epekto nito sa 2028 elections at sa kinabukasan ng politika sa Pilipinas? Samahan kami sa isang matapang, makabuluhan at napapanahong talakayan upang himayin ang mga issue, batas at realidad sa likod ng isang pinakamainit na usapin sa bansa ngayon. Ito ang The Agenda Forum, ang boses ng pagsusuri, pananaw at katotohanan.
And magandang morning, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Attorney Fred Mison, ang inyong host dito sa ating programang Everything for Good, brought to you by Impact Publishing, together and in cooperation with EFG Consulting. Welcome po, dito tayo sa Karene Restaurant. And as our OBB said, our topic for today will be to impeach or not to impeach. It has been said, it has been discussed and talked about many times in many fora. What is this all about? It's a political, legal trial. At the same time, it has social and economic implications as well. So for today, for this morning, we are fortunate to have resource speakers who can shed more light and share their insights as to what is really bound for impeachment. Starting to my right, allow me to introduce to you a professor of mathematics and statistics from the UP Diliman. He is a fellow and an analyst in the Okta Research Group. He continues to be a data science and public policy analyst focusing on national trends, governance indicators, and risk modeling. Welcome to our show, Professor Doc Guido David. Sir.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me here.
Yes, and to my left, my favorite professor. He is known as the former dean of the Far Eastern University Institute of Law. He is widely known as a legal educator, public policy commentator, and constitutional law analyst. He is active in media as a legal columnist and used to be a broadcaster as well in a major TV show. Lawyer, law professor, please welcome Dean Mel Santamaria.
Good morning po sa inyong lahat.
Morning.
Good morning sa inyong lahat.
Okay. To start the ball rolling, I think, alam natin it's political, it's legal, impeachment. But at the same time, it has that impact when it comes to our society and the ordinary Filipino people. So I'll start the ball rolling by asking Doc Guido, based on your research, based on your evidence-based analysis, ano po ba ang pulso ng bayan noon at ngayon, now that we are facing this vote to impeach or not to impeach?
Actually, when we analyzed the survey data, so Okta Research recently conducted a survey. This was done in March 19 to 25, 2026, part of the first quarter Tugon na Masa survey. So it's 1,200 respondents nationwide. And simple lang yung tinanong sa survey. Do you believe that the Vice President should, or rather the impeachment proceedings should move forward, the impeachment against the Vice President? And majority agreed, 69%. So some critics of surveys, who non-believers, they took exception to this result because at the same time there are survey results that showed that she's still the front runner for the candidate for president in 2028. So parang for them there's like a discord between the data. I mean, up to 50% say they want to vote her for president, but at the same time, how come 69% said they want her to face the impeachment? For me, there's no discord there. It's actually shows that the Filipinos in general, they believe in the process of the law, the legal proceedings. It does not mean necessarily that they believe she should be impeached or she's guilty of anything. But this was conducted back in March 19. So it's very possible, attorney, that the data will be much different if we conduct the survey today or next month, since we've had the hearings in Congress, which have actually reached a lot of Filipinos. Yung reach na sa social media, they have reached, each article reached mga 50 million people. Especially yung mga pinaka nag-reach sa mga tao, yung billions. So that was the talking point that actually is medyo affecting the Vice President much at this time.
Doc, ito, having said that there are House hearings which have reached, you said 50 million?
50 million each article. I mean, especially sa TikTok, wide-reaching sa TikTok. I mean, I can't say if these are unique individuals, pero 50 millions the reach.
Dean Mel, how come all of a sudden we have these House hearings extensively covered, posted and shared in social media, whereas other impeachment proceedings, mukha yatang wala namang ganun ako naaalala? What makes this thing different?
Well, because of the personalities, number one, and because of the necessity, and also because of the allegations and the grounds forwarded for impeachment. Let us not forget that the impeachment process is still part of the continuum of the electoral process. Because when we elected these people in office, dapat, sabi ng ating constitution, may safety valve tayo. We gave our consent to these people, but if along the way they commit certain serious infractions, may safety valve tayo, yung impeachment. So that therefore the impeachment is, sabi nga ng Korte Suprema, because it's in the Constitution, constitutional. Because it involves certain legal framework, it's legal, but also it's political. So therefore, this is mainly constitutional, legal, but for me, as very political. Kaya nga, nakalagay ito sa House of Representatives natin as a symbolic representation that if the people put you there, the people will take you out. So it's a removal process. No? Removal process. It's the allegations are serious. It merits consideration and even a hearing.
So in other words, Dean Mel, dun sa mga previous officials removed by impeachment, the allegations were not as serious as the allegations against VP Sara. That's why it required some kind of marathon hearings. Naparami yata.
Exception natin si Erap Estrada. Because Erap Estrada, ang ground niya, graft and corruption rin. And eventually, na-convict pa nga siya ng Sandigan Bayan, pero pardon lang. Pero if you look at Sereno and Corona, salin lang yan. Pero dito, you're talking about assassination, 617 million, 125 million spent in 11 days. Talagang startling. Ibig sabihin, tingnan mo pa lang, nakakayanig na. And kaya kailangan makita ng tao yan. And besides, nakalagay sa ating constitution, there should be a hearing except yung 1/3 direct vote to the Senate. But of course, we have that decision in July 2025 and January 2026 na nagkaroon pa ng a little bit detailed process sa ating impeachment yun na nasunod naman sa tingin ko.
Given that medyo nagkaroon ng special considerations that required this kind of hearings, Dog, ito, maraming nanonood doon, di ba? Do you think it will, or to put it differently, how can public opinion influence the vote of the legislators either dun sa House or eventually, if ever, dun sa Senate?
I think it's already affecting the opinion of the legislators, and we know that some of them have already, changed their decisions or maybe withdrawn their support for or against the impeachment. And we can also see that in the Senate. I think isang factor dito is when the Vice President already declared 2 years early that she's running for president. And I think this is sort of a way of maybe, I wouldn't say pressuring, but influencing the decision of the senators and maybe even some congressmen on their decision. So what that means is all the polls, surveys show that she's the leading presidential candidate. So there's this sort of influencing factor that, in a way, they're saying that, okay, well, look, I could be the next, or she could be the next president of the Republic in 2028. And your decisions now could be, could really matter. I mean, whether they decide to impeach her or not. And, if for example, they support the impeachment, but the impeachment does not go through and she's able to win the the presidency, as an example, then I think that will, result, it will have consequences for some senators and congressmen. So I'm just giving some scenarios there. And regarding the public opinion. So there's this recent poll. It's not from Okta Research. It came from Tanghere, actually, Acquisition Apps Inc. And they said that this latest survey just released on May 6, 90% of Filipinos, including majority of Duterte supporters, demand that the vice president face the Senate trial. So there's this public opinion that's supporting that she should face the Senate trial. Now, what the Senate will decide, like I said, it's going to also be influenced by the perception of the senators themselves regarding the winnability of the vice president in 2020.
Oh, sige. Joining us, thank you for your presence. Of course, most of you should know him already. I know him before. He is a representative of the Bicol Saro Party List, lawyer, public policy advocate, and he wears many hats these days. And medyo mainit sa social media and traditional media. Kong Terry Redon, welcome to our show.
Magandang umaga po. Maraming salamat sa
Pinag-usapan namin ni Dinwell kanina about the process of impeachment. Mukha naman sa House, I think, based on the numbers that you are sharing with media before, mukhang it will be a vote for the impeachment to proceed and endorse to the Senate. Meron bang pagkakataon, Kong Terry, na may iba na you will not be able to get the number 106?
What do you mean?
Ibig sabihin, hindi na magkakaroon ng not enough votes.
I don't think that is a possibility.
Okay.
On,
Given that, Kong Terry, paano kung nag-107 na? Baka yung ibang boto hindi na bibilangin o mag-abstain na lang iba dahil like Doc Guido said, some legislators might be fearful given that in 2028, lamang po yata si VP Sara in the race. So they will be more careful. So will that kind of be an issue on your end or on the end of your fellow colleagues in Congress?
I don't think the vote will be any less than 215 from yesterday's count. So it's just a question of whether we will get to 3/4 majority by the vote on Monday. So by yesterday, we had breached 2/3 majority already to impeach the Vice President as far as the count is concerned. So yun na lang po yung tanong doon. How far will the votes go? So if you have 215 today, so it's just a Friday, and you still have a few more days left, no, for House members to get convinced on the evidence. I'm certain that we'll get a little bit more from the 215 that we have from yesterday.
From your perspective, Kong Terry, pati din Mel, will it be material, whether it's 106, 150, 200, 215, in terms of the voting legislators?
I think it's material because 215 is basically the same vote as last year, and we get more votes this year, particularly because you have new and compelling evidence on unexplained wealth, on 6.7 billion in total transactions, 4.4 billion in inflows into the bank accounts of the Vice President and Attorney Carpio, who are what? Public servants, lawyers, and losing businesses. Hindi ba? I think as far as the public and lawmakers are concerned, parang hindi ho nagbabangga yung pong ganoong financial profile as against yung pong SALN ng pangalawang Pangulo.
Din Mel?
Well, yung nangyari last year, pwede pa nilang arguably sabihin conscience vote kasi it was a straight 1/3, no? Pero ngayon hindi na nila pwedeng masabi kasing conscience vote. Kasi basta sinabi mo yung conscience vote, dalawang panig ang nagtataligsahan dyan. Kailangan problema dito, 100% prosecution evidence and 0% defense evidence. So to say that conscience vote, saan ang gagaling yung base ng conscience? Kaya logically, kung susundan natin ang logic dito, dapat unanimous to. If they will be faithful to the evidence presented. Kaya, be that as it may, nandiyan na yung boto at malamang papasok na ito sa Senado. So ang susunod na battleground dyan ay ang Senate, no? And ako, to be frank and to be honest, medyo lamang si Sara Duterte doon. Because less than 16 votes, acquitted yan. 9 votes, acquitted yan. But para lang sa akin, sometimes, if you reflect on this thing and nandun ang 2028 election, dito yung sinasabi ko sa iyo kanina that this is a continuum of the election. The impeachment process is a continuum of the election. Kaya, kahit na as of now lamang si VP Sara sa Senate, parati kong tinitingnan, para rin sa ating mga tagapakinig, na dalawang korte dito. Isang Senate Political Court at ang isang Court of Public Opinion. Diyan tayo nakasalalay yung mga kababayan natin. Dapat talaga natin tingnan at pagmasidan ang mga nilalatag na ebidensya. Kasi para sa akin ngayon, lilipat na tayo sa probable cause to substantial evidence.
Yes.
Sobra-sobra yun eh. Kasi ang substantial evidence, reasonable outcome for a reasonable mind lang yan. The defense may be plausible, pero but reasonable pa rin, pasok na, dapat convicted. So, therefore, iyan ang titignan natin. Kung hindi naman ma-convict, ma-acquit, so be it, that's fine. Pero ang ebidensya ngayon ang dapat tignan natin because para lang sa akin, ang tinitignan ko na yung 2028, no? Kasi para lang sa akin, the Court of Public Opinion ang mas matindi talaga dito. Iyan ang talagang maaalala nila.
Kong Terry, i-add ko lang kasi based on what Dean Mel said, mukha naman lamang po yata si VP Sara sa Senate. And there are other senators already who kind of voiced out that they will vote this way. to the point of even blocking or whatever they can to perhaps not convene as a Senate impeachment court. Sa'yo, Kong Terry, after all of the hearings in the House, walang mangyari sa Senate or ma-acquit sa Senate, is it really worth it?
Well, I reject that framing.